Hi, Jess here from nigezza.blogspot.com, and I'm here today with another project using a celebration stamp set, and we're using the Lots of Lavender today. This is a two-part stamp set with a nice watercolour effect, and along with it I'm using Petal Palette Petite. I'm using the leaf with that, and I'm using the coordinating dies from it. I'm using the one that cuts out the sentiment and this lovely sort of lattice effect. And I've already done one here, and this is using Sweet Sugar Plum and Emerald Envy, name block then, and Whisper White. I'm changing it up this time, and I'm using Tranquil Tide, Fresh Fig and Very Vanilla. Okay, so you need a card blank in Tranquil Tide, which is a normal half A4 scored in half. You need two mats, one for the inside, one for the outside, in Very Vanilla. Those are normal standard mats that I do. All the measurements will be on my blog, so don't worry. And then for the topper bit, we have Tranquil Tide there in 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. Then the Fresh Fig is 2 5/8 by 4 1/8, so it's a smaller border on the middle. And then this one is 2 1/2 by 4. We need a scrap of Tranquil Tide for the matting of the sentiments. We need some Fresh Fig to cut out the dies, and then a scrap of Very Vanilla for the sentiment. Okay, so let's start with the stamping. I shall move that out of the way. So I've got all my stamps ready mounted. So we're going to do the Lavender bunch, stamping that in my Memento Black. It's quite a big stamp, so I quite like to do the ink to the stamp for this one. So I'm going to use my grid mat to keep this straight, and then stamp on. There we go. That is lovely as it is, and it does go with one of our card kit as well, which is really nice. Okay, and then I need my Fresh Fig ink pad, which I can't see. Do you know? There it is. I will say I was so organised getting everything ready for a change, and then I just couldn't see it. So you've got this stamp set, which is the sort of watercolouring over the lavender flowers. So I'm just lining that up. Put my head over like so. There we go. And then I'm going to use Tranquil Tide, and that I haven't got. Excuse me. Okay, I'm not working in my craft room. I've taken over my dining room, so I haven't got everything sort of to hand. I would normally have just over there, all my ink pads, but as I say, I'm not in my craft room. So we have the leaves to stamp over, and what I've done is I've already sort of mounted them. I just laid them over the image so that they will line up and don't have to stamp it twice. But I realised I haven't actually mounted the stems. What a wally. So I could have done the stems at the same time, but I didn't think about it. And then there's a bow, and I'm going to do the bow in Dapper Denim because I think that will look nice together. So that'll go over the bow, like so. That rhymes, I'm a poet. I didn't know it. And then I just need to get out the stem. I'm just scrubbing me stamps. So there's the stem, which I forgot to get ready. Take that bow off, put it on there. And because it's sort of watercolour effect, it doesn't actually matter. I think it looks quite nice if you don't quite get it aligned perfectly, because that's the sort of effect you're going for. So then all I need to do is stamp the sentiment, and the sentiment I have taken from the perennial birthday kit, and it says today blooms just for you, and I thought that went quite well with the blooming heather. So just when you think you're all organised and you realise that you're not quite so organised. So I had a scrap of Whisper White, not Whisper White, Very Vanilla, for the sentiment, which I'm going to do in Memento Black. Stick that in the centre. Okay, lovely. And then a little bit of background stamping on the front of the card. I'm going to do the leaf stamp. I'm just going to get a bit of scrap to save my nice clean grid mat. So I've got the leaf from Petal Palette, and I'm going to stamp that in Tranquil Tide just along the edge. And then whilst I've got it out, I'm going to stamp it on the centre, but I'm going to use the lavender. I'm going to go off one and on, just for the centre of the card, because I think that will look nice. Okay, so that's all the stamping done. So now I've got a bit of die cutting to do. So I've got to cut this out with this framelit, and I'm going to cut it a second time out of Tranquil Tide to mat it, and then I've got some fresh fig and I'm going to cut 2 of these, so I'll do that and come back. There we are, so that's all the bits cut out. So now I'm just going to put it together. I'm going to use some Tombow glue because they're quite little borders, so I want some wigglage. So don't know why I'm doing that in the air. So I just thought this looked better with smaller mats. On the front of the card. And this is going, oh, there's one bit still in there. This is going to get tucked behind there, and this one's going to get tucked behind there. So I am putting some Tombow along this edge because you're not actually going to see it, so it doesn't matter if it oozes a bit because it'll get held down by the topper. So just line it up to the edge of the card. And the same with the bottom one. It's going to be held in place from about there. So just line that up at the bottom. I just think it adds a nice bit of interest. And then this can go on the back. You can pop it up on dimensionals, but I thought it was giving enough sense of depth by the fact that it's layered. And then that is just going to stick over those. And then I'm just going to cut this in half and just have it layering, showing out the sides. So a little bit of Tombow. Push it up to the edge till I'm happy. And then the same on the other side. Oop, a bit too much on that there. Don't want it oozing. And then I'm just going to stick that across there, going slightly off the edge. So just want a bit Tombow on that bit. Oh, nice one, Jess. I think I'll hold it instead of stroking it. Okay, and then that needs to get stuck on to the front of my card. And I thought this would do birthday, anniversary, give to a bride before their wedding, so you could change the colours to match. Today blooms for you. I think that's quite a nice message there for that. Could be Mother's Day, could be anybody having a big day, graduating from university, prom. I have stamped that in the wrong place. I stamped it as if it was going that way. Right, won't be doing that. That can be saved for another card, but that's what I would have done. Okay, not wanting to waste that thing that I did, I've just quickly thrown another card together. So I've put it on a fresh fig card blank. I've cut a Tranquil Tide mat, excuse me, and then the second layer in Very Vanilla. In exactly the same way as I did this topper, I've done the stamping on this, and I've used the largest stitch framelit oval die, and I'm going to stick that on there, and then I'm going to introduce you to another celebration set, which is called Amazing You, and I'm using this stamp here that I'm just going to put on the background behind this oval. I'm just doing it. So my idea is I was going to put leaves behind, and then I decided, nah, do something different. So I'm going to put it on my grid mat. Could use a Stampin' Majig. Stampin' Stratus would be brilliant for this. Stamp that there. And then turn it over on the other side about there. Line it up like so, and then that just sticks out there. And then I'm going to make this into a birthday card, so I'm going to use from Picture Perfect Birthday, happiest of birthdays to you, because it was a nice big sentiment which I thought would go lovely. I couldn't decide whether to do it in black or the Tranquil Tide to match. Decided to do it in the Tranquil Tide. So let's get it straight. There we go. Lovely. Oh, I like that. That's the first time I've stamped that. I didn't even do a trial stamp. So there we go. I think I might pop this up on some dimensionals to give it a little bit of pop. See? You never know where your creativity is going to take you. Right, let's just stick this on. So you've got a little bonus number there and another little preview of a celebration item. I will be bringing you a project with it to properly show it off. But as I'd already glued the layer, I just thought I'm going to have to stick it down. So I thought, well, I might as well make another card, don't I? The thing is, the first card, I actually played with it for ages before I was satisfied, and this has taken me seconds to sort of go, yeah, that'll do. And then just pop that up. You could ink the edges if you wanted to. There we go. So that's your little bonus one. So hope you like it. I will put all the details over on my blog, nigezza.blogspot.com. See you again soon.